this 6.5 year journey, Vaughn, I met you years ago when we were just getting started, and you might remember seeing this book.
I read that book, and what was it, 2 or 3 days? I couldn't put it down.
Yeah,
Fascinating.
This book came out in 2015, and it's the full manuscript of Roger's original conversion story. Roger Morneau was a demon worshiper who became an Adventist Christian author and founder of an international prayer ministry. And in your opening today, you said that God has the ability to reach down into the darkness and pull people out the Bible even says, to the uttermost.
That's right.
He can save.
That's right.
God knew that Roger was deceived. And for those who are watching today, who maybe grew up in a Christian home, maybe grew up in another worldview, and they've heard about Jesus, they've heard about God, but maybe to them, God is an impersonal force in the universe who doesn't have a heart or a nurturing spirit to actually help me in my situation. So many of these traditions that you were talking about earlier, like paganism, like Hinduism, they teach you to worship the ancestors,
right,
who actually are the ones interceding for us in the afterlife. And actually, the Bible is the only source that teaches us the truth about death. A lot of people may be watching today and say, well, does the Bible really teach that the dead are asleep? Yes, it does, actually.
Right.
Those who watch Charmed by Darkness, they will see that issue touched on, and then, by God's grace, they'll connect with our other film, a companion program called Beware of Angels, which is all about this deception, this original lie in the garden from the serpent, right?
Yes.
You will not surely die.
Yes.
Charmed by Darkness really was an opportunity to really expose that Lucifer is Satan and that Satan is a real person.
Yes.
And people doubt his existence at the peril of their own souls.
The Bible teaches who Lucifer was, who Satan is, and how it happened, and what has happened to earth as a result of it.
For yet a little while, and the wicked shall not be.
Let's talk about the actors that you cast in the roles of Cyril and Roger and Cynthia.
I knew that they were the ones the Lord had chosen for several reasons. First of all, they were super patient, because all of them had the understanding that when they came on set that day, they weren't going to have a spoken line story about. Well, at the last minute, I felt the Lord impressing me. We needed a live mic on the set, and we ended up changing, kind of pivoting right there at the last minute, and they were very cool. They put their heart and soul into it, and God blessed us. The young Cyril actor and the young Roger actor had never met before, and they met on set for the first time. We laughed more than we deserved to laugh.
In the book of Matthew, stop, bro. I got to do two things. Okay.
Their chemistry was so natural, and that was just a blessing. And you know why, Yvonne? Because Roger and Cyril actually became best friends. And for the rest of their lives, after they met in the factory that week when they ended up studying the Bible together. And do you know that young Cyril and young Roger, they now see each other on a weekly basis ever since they worked together on the set of this film.
Oh, what did the families of Roger and Cyril think about these actors?
That was such a huge affirmation to have a blessing from the families. You know, Roger's daughter, Linda, who also appears in the film, she told me that she cried a lot of times when she watched this film out of joy, because there's so many things that come out in this film. The family is such a private family, Yvonne. They don't go on camera. They don't go give interviews. In a way, they've been living in the shadow of this huge legacy.
Yes.
And this film actually God gave them an opportunity to speak a word about this journey they've all been on together, and what it means and how it connects to God's bigger plan for them. And one more thing I'll mention that was so affirming from Cyril's daughter-in-law. Her name is Olive, and we've become very good friends since Cyril passed away, since both Cyril and Cynthia passed away soon after I worked with them. And Olive and all of her daughter and her grandchildren, who were the great-grandchildren of Cyril and Cynthia, these young girls were all sitting there in front of the TV watching Charmed by Darkness together, and every once in a while, Olive said they would pause it, they would look at their grandmother, and they would look at her with this expression, and they said, "That's exactly how Grandpa used to tell us."
Wow.
But they were seeing it being reenacted,
Yes.
and Olive said that those little girls did not budge an inch the whole time the movie was playing.
Which is
And I
a
was
true
just
test, right? Which is a true test of how compelling the film is. If you can hold the attention of youngsters, you can really hold some attention.